Hey, let me tell you, it is very nice to be here with you all today. First off, Cooper, big thanks to you and everything you're doing. I mean that. What makes me so excited to be here is that you read the news, you look at the media, you look at social media, and they tell you that young people, that millennials like us, Gen Zers like you, shouldn't be conservative. But that's not what we're seeing here today. Right? That's not what we're seeing in our home in Georgia and in our district. We have people our age and of all ages that are motivated, that are fired up. They saw those things that happened in November and said, we have to do something about it. And so it just brings me great joy, honestly, to be here with you. I want to share with you a few things. So one, who I am as a person, and then honestly what led me to run. And then ultimately some of the issues that we're faced with today, both with our generations and in this country. I was born and raised in Roswell, so not too far from here. I have 8 generations. I ended up getting an offer to play baseball at West Point, and that started my military career in the military. Where in total, counting West Point, I served 9.5 years. Most recently, I had the opportunity to serve as the commander at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. And I tell you, I feel humbled, honestly, just to have the opportunity. Every day, I got to see daily the best of this country. I would walk past 250,000 white headstones, 415 Medal of Honor recipients, 13 Supreme Court justices, President Kennedy, President Taft, the most decorated soldiers of all the wars, from Sergeant Younger to Sergeant Audie L. Murphy, to Captain Ivan C. Catello Jr., buried in Section 2. Each of them a framework that created this country stands upon. And yet the very values and freedoms that they stood guarding, they died defending. I could look across and I could see the U.S. Capitol, frankly emblematic of elected officials defacing those very values. I remember I reached a point, I was guarding the unknowns, it was late at night. I remember looking out, I could see the U.S. Capitol, it was beckoning on the horizon. And here I was, this Army captain, standing on America's most hallowed ground. And I just felt angry. I felt angry. Honestly, like how we all felt in November. Because I got to see daily the best of this country, and yet I looked right outside the wire and I saw such a different story. I would see World War II vets, and they would come in on wheelchairs, and they would stand and salute with all their might as Taft echoes across the hills of Arlington. And yet I turn on the news and I hear our politicians are applauding players as they kneel as our national anthem echoes across America's stadiums. Those same stars and stripes that I've knelt down and given to widows on behalf of a grateful nation. Now, they're being burned and spat on in our streets. And I was like, have we forgotten? Have we forgotten? By Francis Scott Key. Etched those words as he saw our stars and stripes. Stand unwavering as it was relentlessly pounded by enemy fire. Have we forgotten why firefighters went up 100 flights of stairs into the flaming furnace to save fellow American lives? Or Todd Beavers, let's roll as they stormed the cockpit of Flight 93. To the Marines in Iwo Jima, who made a human bridge to cross fields of barbed wire, do so that today we can have people like Lucy McBath cast barbs of discourse in hopes of prodding those that don't agree with us. Perhaps this is happening because we have weak leaders on both sides that are too focused on clamoring for power than they are for serving you. And I can tell you that will not be me. I will stand. I will lead. Jake mentioned we need a new generation of leaders that can take a stand, and I'm going to be that leader. I will take a stand for you. I will care for you and your family. I ended up getting out of the military specifically to run because I couldn't see what was happening and not do something about it. And so I did what everyone tells you to do. You start meeting with all the local officials. A lot of them are great. But I sat down with someone, I won't share the name because of where this is going, but I want you to listen. And especially the people my age and the teenagers here in the room, you'll probably experience this at some point in your life, to tell you the truth. I met with the state senator and we were getting breakfast. And I shared my heart with him. And everything that led me to run, much of what I shared with you just now. And he was much older than me, much older than you guys. And he looks at me and he says, son, I understand you want to make a difference and all. But this is a boys' club, and you need to sit down and wait your turn. That, right? That is the problem with our party. That is the problem with politics today, that we have people that feel entitled to your vote. They feel entitled to your support. They feel entitled to everything, not ever doing anything to earn it. Well, that's not going to be me. Frankly, I think we need a new generation of strong conservative leaders. Right?
Yes.
And I don't think he knows you very well. I don't think he knows me very well. I don't think he knows this country very well. Because let me tell you something. George Washington was 21 years old when he first got his commission in the United States military. Abraham Lincoln was 22 years old when he first ran for public office. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence when he was 33 years old. There were 12 other signers on that declaration when they were under the age of 35 years old. James Madison, 25 years old at the time, being one of them. Thomas Edison was 29 years old when he created the phonograph. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were in their 30s when they landed on the moon. Let me tell you something. This country was created in part because of the passion and vigor behind young people. Frankly, the ordinary people, when they believe in something, when they believe in this country, they can go out and do great things. And that's what I want to leave with you today. I want to leave with you a story, and I want you to listen close because it's the moment when I realized I needed to run and I needed to do something about it. Every Memorial Day, the president comes and lays the wreath at the tomb. And then afterwards, they'll give a speech. And so part of tradition is the Sentinels are getting ready to go out. They're standing there getting ready, and we're taping them off, making them look just perfect. We played speeches, previous speeches, from Reagan to Bush to Carter. And that gentleman, Reagan, mentioned a soldier by the name of Private Treptow. So I did some reading on him. He's buried under one of those headstones. And Private Treptow was shipped out on the Western Front with the famed Rainbow Division. And so there, this young private, 18, 19 years old, was tasked to carry a message between battalions. And so the young private, he pulls out his journal, he writes down the information, and he heads out on his way. And as he's making his way across enemy lines, he makes his final dash to the friendly troop line. And he's struck down and killed with enemy fire. And so the friendly commander, he pulls him down in the trench line, and he discovers his journal. And on the inner flyleaf, it says, "My pledge," and I want you to listen. It says, "America must win this war. Therefore, I will work, I will save, I will sacrifice. I will fight cheerfully and do my utmost, as if the issue of the whole struggle depended on me alone." As if the issue of the whole struggle, of everything I had felt that night guarding the unknowns, depended on me alone. As if the issue of what you felt that night on election depends on us now to solve. As if the issue of what we talk about with critical race theory, being taught in our schools, being taught to my kids. I have 3 young boys that are going to be going to school, and we're teaching them these things. As if the issue of what we're seeing at our borders and not securing our borders, the issue and the threat that China poses to our country, all of those issues, who are we not to live and lead and serve as Private Treptow did? Because if I know one thing about this country, it's that each time when we are at our darkest hour, a new generation has risen up. Ordinary people like you and me can change this country if we believe in it or not. And so I tell you, we are making serious momentum in this campaign. We've raised more money than any other candidate in the race so far. Raised $331,000 in 90 days. And the hope is that this isn't a race just to elect Harold Earls to become congressman here in Georgia. Frankly, the goal is to create a movement. The goal is to create something that we can get behind, something that we believe in. But I'm going to need your help to do it. It's funny, I think when you look at Republican races, they often try to just raise a bunch of money. They make TV ads that frankly aren't very good. But they don't do anything on the ground. And I tell you, that's where I can use you. The goal, yes, we're raising money. Yes, we're going to make some compelling ads. But what really wins races are people like you sitting here that are fed up, that are fired up, and that want to get involved. That are willing to stand on a street corner. That are willing to knock on a door or write a handwritten note. That's what wins elections. I would love to get you involved in my campaign. All right, so I'm going to give you my personal cell phone number. I'd love for you to pull out your phone. And I'm going to give you my cell. You can shoot me a text, and I'll be sure to text you back. It's 835-5410. You may just want to write it down because I plan on being your next congressman, so you can text me sometime. But I'd love to get you involved. That's 770-835-5410. You can also go to my website. It's earls.org. You can see more about what I stand for and who I hope to be. And there's also a card. If you look at Jamie right here, he's got a card as well that has QR codes on the back of it. I appreciate you. We're going to make this thing happen, but we're going to do it together. I'm Harold Earls, and I'm running for Congress in the 6th District. Thanks a lot.